The Police Welfare Association wants legal aid for officers accused in murder case, while the Attorney General says not in this case. Police investigate the death of one man in Capuchin and another in Coulibistrie. And still no word on what happened to reggae artist Nelly Stharre at Trevvy Felix, as forensic experts were due to arrive on Monday. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up.
Your style, your taste, your look, as individual as you are. Create the room that's all about you with new home furnishings from Quartz. And when you shop today, get a free gift of your choice. Plus, you can make a purchase now and pay absolutely nothing for 90 days. So create the room that's all about you with home furnishings from Quartz, bringing value home.
This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that
when you can afford what you crave, life just gets so good.
I'm so alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey,
KFC, so good for everyone.
Cashwiz is the one-of-a-kind pawn shop in Dominica. We'll trade all your old and used appliances for cash, grant loans applicable to the value of your vehicle and other appliances. A community service-oriented organization actively involved in building communities and empowering the young while partnering with social groups for nation building. So come to Cashwiz Dominica on the corner of Stharre Street and St. Johnson's Avenue, Pottersville, Roseville. Call us today at 440-5555. Check us out on Facebook or email dominica@cashwiz.com. There's a place in Portsmouth that's mellow.
The products and services are just mellow.
Located on Harbour Lane in Portsmouth, next to the St. John's School, it's Milo's Bakery.
Milo's Bakery offers a wide variety of tasty pastries and breads for your satisfaction.
Baked fresh and soft.
So come to Milo's for your tasty pastries.
Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday and from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays.
Call 445-4044 today.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
And topping the news, Attorney General Levi Peter says a request by the Police Welfare Association for him to sanction legal aid for police officers charged with the murder of Joshua Etienne cannot be granted. The Police Welfare Association issued a statement Friday stating that the Attorney General had not responded to their request. The PWA's position is that the officers are state employees who were on duty and that the state is responsible to represent police officers who act on behalf of the state. The PWA says it's disappointed with government's position as it relates to the legal representation of the officers or the police officers who were charged.
The law in question is the police regulations, which are the regulations which accompany the Police Act, Chapter 1401 of the Revised Laws, Dominica. And specifically, Regulation 98 of the Police Regulations, which states as follows, and I quote, "Where a police officer is charged before a court with an offense arising out of or in the course of the execution of his duty, and the Attorney General is satisfied that the officer acted in good faith in the execution of his duty, the officer shall be granted legal aid in the conduct of his defense." First thing to be said is that that's clearly a discretion that the law gives to the Attorney General, and it sets out circumstances which must prevail so that the Attorney General can properly exercise that discretion. Paramount consideration is that the Attorney General must be satisfied that the officer or the officers acted in good faith in the execution of their duty. I can't speak for others, but I am not sure that there are many Dominicans who would feel that where a police officer was charged with an offense, the offense in this case, that they are charged with, namely murder, of a suspect who was in detention, police detention at the time of that alleged murder. I'm not sure that there are many Dominicans who would consider that the police officers who were charged in that circumstance could properly be said to be acting in the execution of their duty, far less to be doing so in good faith.
The Attorney General says the police, like all other state employees, must operate within the bounds of the law.
And I cannot go off because I like the police officers, say I'm going to act in a particular way, or because I don't like them acting a different way. The fact is, objectively, looking at the information that I'm provided with, what's the decision? This is not a case where a police officer or these police officers were charged. They had gone on an operation, they had gone to a premises where they believed, or they were confronted with someone who they believed had a firearm, and they opened fire, and mistakenly it turns out maybe this is not that. This is a situation where a citizen of this country was detained by the police on the information that I have, in good health, was taken into custody. He may have committed an offense, he may not, I don't know. But let's assume he had committed an offense. The police would be entitled to arrest him and take him into custody. He is entitled to walk from that custody into a court and be subjected to the laws of the land. It may be that he will be sent to prison, maybe he may be released, whatever the case. He is not entitled, nor is he supposed to, any citizen, to come out of that cell as a body, a deceased body.
And one Capuchin man is dead after being found with what appeared to be stab wounds to his upper body. 26-year-old Milton James was discovered early Sunday morning laying behind a bench.
He was found behind a bench, what we normally call a lazy bench. He was motionless. He appeared to have what appeared to be a stab wound on the upper chest, area. He was discovered by a community member of the community, somewhere about between 5 and 6 a.m. As I said yesterday, the 23rd, Sunday, the 23rd of August 2015.
A coroner's inquest is expected to be opened soon, followed by a post-mortem.
As I speak with you, the investigations are continuing as to how he arrived there, how he got that wound, or what appeared to be a stab wound. So it's the early stages in the investigations, but it seems to suggest, no doubt about it, that it appears to be a homicide.
In more police news, police are investigating the suspicious death of an elderly man from the community of Coulibistrie. Desmond Rodet, rumored to be blind, was found by a community member on Sunday morning in a state of distress. It is alleged that the people who found him at his home noticed he had been tied to a sofa when they attempted to lift him.
It appeared that he may have ingested a suspected substance. Of course, in these cases, again, there must be a post-mortem examination. He was taken to the St. Joseph Health Center, of course, by family members and others, and having made that official complaint, he was then taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where upon arrival he was pronounced dead by Dr. Robinson. In this case as well, a coroner's inquest is expected to be opened imminently or shortly, to be followed by a post-mortem.
Desmond Rodet was 72. In other news now, it must be a very challenging time for the Raffol family as they continue to await answers as to what has befallen Nelly Stharre. Nelly Stharre and her partner Trevvy Felix lived on a plantation in the heights of Maho until recently, when family and friends could not make contact with her, only to discover that the house in which they lived had been flattened by fire. So far, the police can only say that they discovered what appeared to be human remains, but the family has tried to keep hope alive. One family member told Channel 5 News they were expecting forensic experts to arrive on island Monday. He said they would not be making any statements until they know something concrete. But that means a much longer wait before we can have any answers as to what happened to Nelly Stharre and her companion. Nelly Stharre was a member of the local Rastafari community, and they too have questions.
Obviously, there will be a concern. I mean, obviously, she was the one together with her partner living in that house. And to say you get the house is burned down and they are remains of two individuals, then obviously it's going to be, I mean, when we put two and two together, we're going to strike on them or we're going to hit on them as they being the ones who were present at that house when it was burning, you know. So at the same time, before, let me even offer my condolences to the immediate family, even though it cannot be certified officially yet that it is Nelly Stharre, but I mean, anyhow, we put the bits and pieces together, we're going to arrive at it being Nelly Stharre. So for that reason, I'd offer my condolences to the family, the immediate family of Nelly Stharre, who I mean must be going through a very troublesome times, you know. And even at the same time, let me offer and say gratitude to all the people who have even associated us with Nelly Stharre and who have even offered us as the House of Nyabingi condolences because of that, you know. That shows that she's really a part of the family and a part of all of I&I, and we are really concerned and worried over that plight. At the same time, we don't want to be spreading rumors because we know Dominica is almost famous for that. We don't want to be spreading rumors as to what happened, how it happened, why it happened.
Meantime, uncertainty remains as to the cause of a fire which destroyed a house once occupied by Nelly Stharre and her partner in the heights of Mahu. The entire property was destroyed by fire. No information on the value of what was destroyed. We asked the Deputy Fire Chief whether this fire was a little more complicated as the site was also being investigated by police.
It is, but we're up to the task and we're doing as good as we can. If there were further information re that fire, we'll be glad to put it out to the public. But presently, investigations are ongoing, and that's where we're at this time. We don't depend on the police, but there are certain protocols that we must follow. If there is a police involvement in this aspect of the fire, then we should allow them to carry out the investigations. And we do not interfere in that at all. What we do is to go there and verify that there was a fire and attempt to verify the cause of the fire. But anything other than that, it's the police duties and we leave it up to them.
In the case of last week's fire at the home of the Felixes in Wallhouse, this one is still being investigated.
We can't say it was electrical. Actually, we verified during that fire, just after the fire was extinguished, that the iron was left on, plugged into the outlet. It was still connected to the outlet, so we can simply say that could be the cause, but we're still carrying out investigations into that matter. And the area where the iron was left was totally burnt out. And in fire investigations, you look closer to what, or in the area where the fire burnt the most, to conclude as to the source of the fire. In that case, the area where the iron was left was burnt the most. So we concluded then that could be the source of the fire.
In other news, a free event is being planned to compensate patrons for what transpired with the 12th edition of the King of Kings Calypso Extravaganza in New York. That event is expected to feature all artists who did not perform on the night. Saturday's event was due to take place at the Tropical Paradise Ballroom, but organizers also planned to use additional space if the crowd exceeded expectations. And it did. Turned out the additional space was already in use for an unrelated function that same night. The combined standing capacity of both sections at that venue is 1,500. Unfortunately, the people using the overflow section extended their time, making it impossible to use that section to accommodate the overflow. That meant crowds outside on the street. Fire and police officers said they received an anonymous call reporting that there was chaos at the venue. The event was promptly shut down and the place evacuated. Organizers, the Dominica Promotion, say they have presented an excellent production every year and apologize to those affected. They are promising a bigger show in 2016. You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, Dominica State College holds Orientation Week.
There's a place in Portsmouth that's mellow.
The products and services are just mellow.
Located on Harbour Lane in Portsmouth, next to the St. John's School, it's Milo's Bakery.
Milo's Bakery offers a wide variety of tasty pastries and breads for your satisfaction.
Baked fresh and soft.
So come to Milo's for your tasty pastries.
Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday and from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays.
Call 445-4044 today.
If you love that sound, then pour yourself a Glen Hunter Scotch whiskey and enjoy the taste on the rocks or mix with your favorite beverage. And because Glen Hunter is priced right, you'll be able to double your pleasure long after the people who don't drink Glen Hunter have to go home with empty pockets and empty-handed. Glen Hunter, a revolution in Scotch whiskey. Astor fans, right place, right price.
Let's be conscious and beware. The climate is changing everywhere. Let's promote more healthy lands to withstand the change at hand. Go on and plant a tree. Let's restore the forest. Be a lot more conservative with our farming practices. Keep our environment more clean and green. Put an end to all the polluting. For it is our natural beauty we promoting. Let us build resilience against the hurricanes. Stronger homes in our communities. Make a change. Let us be proactive. Rally, rethink, rally, respond, and the coastal pollution. Promote more water conservation. Whoa. Rally, rethink, rally, respond. Plants around the river banks to sustain the water on the land. Yeah, yeah.
Climate change is real. Our actions do matter. Rally, rethink, respond. A message from the OECS and USAID.
We should be sleeping.
Live wider awake with Beauty Rest, the only mattress that combines the support of legendary Beauty Rest pocketed coil technology with the comfort of air-cool memory foam. Beauty Rest, it's you fully charged.
Available exclusively at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
It's a summertime affair. Summer 2015 is blazing hot, and Marpin 2k4 just made it hotter with special deals on our internet service. Sign in for PingNet between July 27th and September 4th to serve with us and get half off installation and half off your modem. Pay your outstanding balance and get reconnected for free and get half off your first monthly bill. Get even more when you sign up this summer during our PingNet promotion, as Marpin 2k4 will give some lucky customers an extra reason to smile with our giveaways. Come visit us at our Roseau location to get on board our fast and reliable service. It's time to serve.
It's a summertime affair in the atmosphere.
Thank you for staying with us. New students entering the Dominica State College have been warned to uphold a good academic performance throughout their stint at the institution.
The call came from Minister of Education Peter Serja when he addressed the DSC freshmen at an orientation ceremony Monday morning. Serja says government has made strides in providing access to tertiary-level education for all students. Therefore, they must perform well academically.
You have a responsibility when the state finances or assists in financing your education at the Dominica State College to hold true to your end of the bargain.
Serja says students have a responsibility to do well in their chosen field of study.
We are prepared as government to support you through your years of study at Dominica State College. However, when the resources of state are used to support you in your studies, you have a moral obligation to do your best in order to prove that the monies that we expended were well spent.
Poor academic performance by college students who are sponsored by government is discouraged.
I say this because there are too many young people registering at State College. The state provides financial aid, and at the end of the exercise, you show up with a GPA of 0.9 or 1.2 and expect the state to continue financing your studies. That, to my mind, is totally unacceptable and cannot and will not be condoned by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
And 2 new courses will be introduced at the DSC this academic year.
These 2-year subject courses will be offered to students under the Faculty of Applied Arts and Technology.
One is fashion design. It's the 2-year certificate, or you can go and do the major. 2-year course as well. And we have the musical instrument technologies program. It's a program that is meant to actually service not just Dominica, but the whole Caribbean. This is the only program in the Southern Hemisphere that's like this, and it's at the State College here.
Luther says these 2 subject areas will broaden the marketable skills of State College students.
It is a career program. When they are done their 2 years, they can actually go out and start their own business. It's a heavy course, but it is a fun course. The skills that the student benefits from this can literally carry them for a lifetime.
The new academic year for the Dominica State College starts on Monday, 31st August. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
And police continue to urge motorists to still do not use seat belts and helmets or protective gear while driving to ensure that they do so. The renewed call from the police follow a weekend accident under the Canefield Cliff on Sunday, which left 1 man hospitalized and 2 others injured. Week says there are many collisions that could be avoided if motorists would drive with others in mind.
We ought to be driving with due care and attention. We ought to be driving with consideration for others, and not only others, but yourself. You see, the likelihood of killing yourself or severely injuring yourself and others. I really make an impassioned plea that you must drive with due care and attention. Look out for yourself, look out for the other driver, because while some or many chaps or people or motorists and motorcyclists are driving badly, but even those of us who are driving cautiously, we have to look out for them.
So far for the year, there have been approximately 20 accidents involving vehicles, including motorcycles. Of these, there have been approximately 30 injuries and 8 deaths. That's news. Football galore may be new, but it's catching on. Your sports highlights next.
In sports, the St. Bernard brothers of Grand Bay are back on top in White Oak Rum domino action. Anselm and Leonard St. Bernard ousted the Roseau pair of Dorian Ford and Michael David on Sunday to take home the local leg of the 2015 White Oak Rum Domino Championship for a second time. The brothers now have their eyes set on representing Dominica once again at the regional leg in St. Vincent. They also won that leg in 2013.
First of all, I want to maybe thank God first for giving us victory for a second time. And I feel elated, very elated that we made it a second time. And I promise that we will put our best, we'll do our best in St. Vincent.
Feeling very good, very happy for that. And we'll do our best when we get to St. Vincent.
The regional final will take place on September 29th. Team Harris Paints is the first ever champion of the Lime Football Galore Corporate Tournament. The Jovan Murray-led side beat Team Agros 4-3 in Sunday's final after a grueling weekend of matches. Murray spoke on behalf of his team, saying their hard work paid off over the weekend.
Always feels great to be a champion. We worked hard all throughout the tournament. We were beaten by Tarish through the group stages,
And then we came back in the final with dogged determination not to lose. And then we prevailed. And that's what it's all about. Hard work and determination.
Hard work and determination, but who does it for you? Because I suspect you were down by 2 sometimes.
We were down by 2, and then we need our star players to step forward. Tristan, Sean, everyone, the whole team work. And when I get my injury, another player stepped into the defense and did the job.
The winning team was awarded a check of $1,000 and each player was given a mobile handset compliments Lime Dominica. Meanwhile, league organizer Eddie Bruno is pleased with the first tournament and looking forward to greater things.
Oh yes, and as our facilitator, coordinator for the facility, Jesse Badwell has been saying, you know, we have a program of activities down the road where we're going to have a number of different activities, including over 40 tournaments. We're going to have a regular league tournament starting in September. We are hoping to have relationships with the schools in the area, the primary schools. We're going to have them to come in, you know, use the facility free of charge. You know, we want everybody to feel comfortable that we are doing a real nice facility.
In some more football action, Randolph Skelly Peltier copped the Harlem Football League MVP award after a sterling performance in Saturday's All-Star game. Skelly's Zone A team pulverized Zone B 6-3 with Peltier netting 5 of his own. Jeffrey Charles added 1 for Zone A, while Hanif Gregoire found the back of the net twice for Zone B. All the league awardees will be honored at a special awards ceremony this Saturday. And in athletics, Jamaica remains on top of the world in sprinting. Usain Bolt and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price both shot through their men and women 100-meter races at the 15th IAAF World Championships in Beijing. They say lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice, but Usain Bolt came with a theory of his own, taking home another 100-meter title at the same venue he broke the 100-meter Olympic record in 2008. He shot across the finish line in 9.79 seconds ahead of Justin Gatlin 9.80 to cop the hard-fought gold after some doubt following a season plagued with injury.
I'm race rusty, so it wasn't a perfect race. I was kind of all over the place. My shoulders are a bit up a little bit, but it's just because I've been running a lot. It takes time, but overall it was a good race and I won, so that's the key thing.
Absolutely. There was such a build-up to that race, Usain. Did you use that time to just absorb all the positive energy coming off the crowds? It seemed that way.
I think the thought that I got from my coach after the semi-finals really helped. After I came to my coach said, listen to me, you're thinking too much about this race. You're thinking too much about the situation. Just relax. You've been here too many times to be worried about one simple race. And I said to him, you know what, you're pretty much right. So when I came out here, I just told myself, listen, you've been here too many times to be worried about one race. You know exactly what to do and how to get it done. So that's what I did.
Meanwhile, Jamaica's sprinting diva defended her World Championship title with a time of 10.76 seconds.
First time defending a title, so I actually defended a World Championship title. So I actually feel good about that. And I just wanted to come out here and execute, and I know the field was going to be loaded with talent, you know. It's about just focusing on what is important and getting it done.
Daphne Shippers of the Netherlands came second and USA's Tori Brown third. In related news, Grenada's Kirani James is on to the men's 400-meter final. He walked off with a 44.17-second semi-final win in Beijing on Monday. That's all the time we have for sports. Join us next time.
And it's getting busy. We could be looking at another tropical depression or storm during the next day or so. Your weather report is next.
The weather is brought to you by Sagicor. Wise financial thinking for life.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I will be your presenter for this evening, Farah Rock Career. Let's take a look at some earlier satellite imagery and what it showed us, some convection associated with the remnants of Danny just to the north of the Lesser Antilles. What is also of significance is this area of low pressure, which is expected to develop into a depression within a day or so. Residents should continue to monitor the progress of this system. Let's take a look now at some earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. It was shower
and thunderstorm activity associated with the remnants of Danny. Just 2 inches of rainfall was recorded overnight at the Canefield station and under 1 inch at the Douglas Charles station. The weather tonight is expected to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Similar conditions are expected tomorrow. The marine conditions will be moderate and waves will be up to 7 feet. The weather for the next 3 days: tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy with some scattered showers. Wednesday and Thursday, some showers and thunderstorms expected, and that is due to the approaching possible depression, which I mentioned earlier. Weak and stable conditions will result in mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers across the Lesser Antilles tomorrow. The international city forecast: some thunderstorm activity expected in New York, Miami, and Caracas. Cloudy conditions with some rain in London and some partly cloudy conditions expected in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:52 a.m. and will set at 6:23 p.m. Please remember, we are in the hurricane season. For up-to-date weather information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow evening for our next weather broadcast. Thank you.
How do I look, Mommy?
Perfect. When you've been here, you know what's important. Protect it with Sagicor. Wise financial thinking for life.
The headlines: the Police Welfare Association wants legal aid for officers accused in murder case, while the Attorney General says not in this case. Police investigate the death of one man in Capuchin and another in Coulibistrie, and still no word on what happened to reggae artist Nelly Stharre and her friend, as forensic experts were due to arrive on Monday. Send your questions and comments to news@marpin2k4.com. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching.